It's another YouTuber, Twitch streamer that's out there apologizing, and that's a guy by the name of Asmongold. Because you've got tons of people pissed off at this guy, tons of people calling for him to be banned, and that's because during a live stream yesterday, he started talking about Israel and Palestine, and he said about Palestinians.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways.
So unsurprisingly, you have tons outraged online, people saying he's actively advocating for genocide, tons of people comparing his comments to Nazi rhetoric.
Bro, this is straight up one-to-one what Nazis said about Jewish people, what like the most right-wing approach to this conversation. This is insane. I don't think he understands like how unimaginably up this statement is.
And this, as others responded with things like, you live in the United States, skid mark. Genocide is actually baked into the laws of your own country. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, you greasy fucking freak. As well as deserves to be perma-banned off Twitch for this. The level of moral depravity to say this shit, I don't even understand how it's possible. Right, and there are tons of people pointing to Twitch's terms of service that his comments may have broken, and others thinking that a Twitch ban isn't even enough in terms of repercussions. With people pointing to his OTK network and saying things like, if I were an OTK, I would leave the org so fast as long as he is one of the owners. Adding, I'm not crazy about deplatforming people, but we just watched a bunch of human beings get burned alive, and this miserable piece of shit is calling them inferior. Now with all this, for his part, Asmongold actually ended up calling in to Hassan's stream and criticized him where they discussed all of this. With the conversation going a few hours long, going back and forth in the context of cultural values and what calling a culture inferior means. And so I'll link to the whole thing in the description. You had them saying things like,
You don't think that I support Israel, do you?
I don't, but I think
Okay,
that
good.
no, I don't think you support Israel, but I think you saying that like Palestinians are immoral or evil or have an evil, antiquated culture or are barbaric is not only ahistorical. What's up?
I do think that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think you're wrong.
I don't know, man. Like, how can you be in support of a culture that tells people that they can't be who they want to be?
It's not defensible, but I think most people, including like the gay Palestinians or queer Palestinians or queer Lebanese people, understand that there is no room for advocating for civil liberties in your own domestic policies when you are escaping bombings. But when you start talking about like inferior cultures, that sets up the opportunity for, historically at least, dehumanization, and also it justifies a lot of the atrocities that those people end up experiencing.
But then all of that leading to later that night, Asmongold walking back some of his original comments on X. Writing, looking back on it, I was way too much of an asshole about the Palestine thing. My bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid shit like that. I'll do better. But given the situation, how things went down, not a ton of people are buying it. Right, among other things, saying he's only doing this to save face amid calls for him to get banned or removed from OTK. Others saying the most reflection you can do is, quote, my bad. There's no sugarcoating this. You wholeheartedly agree with the principles of Nazism. Log off. Also, going back to that note on people calling for him to get banned, actually, as I was recording today's show, he got banned from Twitch. Though notably, one, it was described as a temporary ban, and two, it was the specific Zach Rohr channel, and Asmongold has several channels on Twitch. And so as the situation is developing in real time, I gotta pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts with all this? Whether it be specifically about his disgusting comments, his apology, or the bans or the calls for them.